We'll start our questions for Justin, Jenifer, and Trevon. Scott, please, again, if you have a specific question, ask it particularly for the player you would like to have the answer to first. If you want to hear from both players, just address one of them first and ask the other to follow. Thank you. We have our questions first, and then we'll get to Coach Cronin. Questions for our players?
Just in that moment, walking off the floor, Coach Cronin grabbed you and Kane and gave you a big hug, it looked like. How tough of a moment, I guess how thankful of a moment are you to share that with your head coach?
I'm very appreciative. Everything that I've done throughout my 4 years here is devoted to Coach. And, you know, he, like I said, you know, previously, he didn't stay on me through all 4 years, no matter what, if it's off the court, if it's on the court. And, you know, like I said, I'm very appreciative of what he has done for me.
Also for Justin, you're up 18-5. At some point they switched to a zone. How much did that affect you guys?
You know, we knew that coming into the game. You know, we knew that we was gonna start off in man and they was gonna go to zone. So we was prepared for that. So you know, some shots didn't go in, and you know that's a part of the game.
Trey, how much did the foul trouble on Nas take you guys out of what you wanted to do at the end of the first half there and then in the second half as well?
I mean, it affected us a lot, but I mean, in my opinion, it was plenty of games, you know, when we had to go to different lineups like that, and I mean, we came out successful, so that's what's so frustrating about the loss. Like, we couldn't get it, we didn't get it done today, you know, like we usually do. But I mean, if Nas, you know, he would have fought through, you know, played smarter, you know, stayed in, I know the outcome of the game would have been different. But I mean, he played hard, you know, he was trying, and I mean, we just came up short.
Anybody else? Justin, I'll ask you a quick question. Once the three-quarter pressure, half-court pressure kind of picked up, you guys were getting shots much later in the shot clock. Was that a direct result of that pressure, or was it something that you were trying to do in the first half?
Well, you know, we was told to attack. You know, when somebody presses you, you're supposed to attack. You're not supposed to lay back. And, you know, it was like a 50-50. Sometimes we attacked and sometimes we just laid back. And when we laid back, it involved turnovers and led to layups. And, you know, that was a big piece to the game. And that was a big turn to, you know, them getting the lead.
Yeah, for both players, you had such a great year, in some ways an unexpected year from outsiders, to have an early NCAA exit. Can you kind of describe what that feels like right now?
Trevon?
I mean, it's tough. Like, it's tough. I mean, a lot of people doubted us, you know. A lot of people said we probably wouldn't have got to where we at today. But, I mean, we stayed together. We got a great, you know, head man right here, Coach Cronin in front of us, listening. But, I mean, it's tough going out. I mean, every team has goals, and this was not part of our goals right here. But, I mean, the toughest thing about it is, you know, losing Justin and Kane. Like, I mean, we owe everything this whole season to these guys. Like, I appreciate you, bro, for everything. So,
Love you, bro.
love you too, bro. I mean, it's just frustrating.
Well, I say it's tough. You know, I didn't picture that, you know, we was going to lose this game today. You know, I picture my senior year still going on. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it happened. And, you know, I couldn't be more proud of the guys, you know, that was with me through the whole way. And, you know, as long as they believed in me, I believed in them. And, you know, that's what makes us such a family.
Our thanks to Justin and Trevon, and now we'll let them go get refreshed. Take questions for Coach Cronin. You can make a statement. That would be great. Thank you.
I would like to congratulate Iowa. Thought that, you know, they were a top 25 team most of the year. Obviously, you know, Fran's a friend of mine. Whatever happened. He had to miss a few games. That threw him off. They got a great coach, and you know, I have nothing but tremendous respect for them and their program and the way they do things. So, I think it's important to make sure that I point that out. So as far as today's game, guys, you know, we're not going to win. We give up 79 points. I don't know. I don't remember the last time Cincinnati's won a game where we've given up 79. Some of you guys might be able to research it. Now, they're a great offensive team. Somebody referenced it earlier in the plus-minus. We're plus 12 in the 20 minutes Nasir Brooks played. So we didn't have the depth on the front line to deal, obviously, with their guys on the interior. I thought that was probably the biggest difference in the game, if you're going to ask me what the difference in the game was. Second thing is I thought we took some questionable shots that are out of character for us. We played and got the game going at a pace that we couldn't set our defense enough, and we got a little too concerned with our offense. And whether it was their zone, their pressure, or whatever the case may be, we got our mind off of defense. We gave up a 3 on an out-of-bounds play. We're first or second in the country in out-of-bounds defense. We usually are every year because we have to be, because we're not running around with lottery picks. So the last thing I would say is you heard these guys talk, so that's what I'm most proud of. You listen to Justin. I knew who he was 4 years ago. I've done my job. Sit here, listen to him talk like that. Trey's unbelievable as well. So it's great kids. We had an unbelievable season. We had a tremendous season. So obviously tough situation to have to play a team that was ranked in the top 25 in the first round more weeks than we were, and we won our conference championship. But again, you know, I'm just a believer at the tournament's about winning it anyway, so you got to win 6 to win it. So I would have the same thoughts if we lose game 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
Questions for Coach Cronin? Doc?
Mick, did you think your guys didn't attack that zone enough?
I do not think offense had anything to do with our demise. I thought we shot too many threes, 5, 6 feet behind the line. We had a few we did take some shots I thought were questionable. I don't think it was their zone that caused it. I think it was decisions by us. And again, it's a get-it-done world. You know, we talked a lot about not taking the bait on those shots and making sure that we threw one more pass and got them in a closeout and tried to beat them off the dribble. So we didn't do good enough job with that. But again, they shot 54% for the game, almost 55%. So we had some egregious errors defensively. We let some of our offensive. We won a game this year. We shot 26% from the field at SMU. So. You know, stuff happens on offense, but I thought we let it affect our defensive energy. But we did take some questionable shots.
Coach, other than Brooks being on the bench at the end of the first half, was there anything you saw that helped them close that lead going into halftime?
Oh, well, we weren't going to shut them out. I mean, yeah, you know, I think you got to give credit to people. You know, I thought they made a few shots where they drove the paint, stopped, pivoted 2 or 3 times and made a tough play. You know, obviously it's hard. You can't converge too much because they got shooters running around the line. Those are hard plays. They made a few of those. You know, I think you know, Bohannon shot at the end of the half is a great example. And he made another one in the second half where he pivoted 2 or 3 times. I thought he drug his pivot foot, but you know, of course I'm going to think that. I'm the opposing coach. You know, the film will tell me whether I'm right or not. But you know, they're a great offensive team for a reason. They have been all year.
Mick, you win 28 games, you win the conference tournament championship, but you will be judged, and you know this, by what happened today. Do you have any comment on that?
I judge, just so you know, I'm judged by the guys that were sitting up here. That's my concern.
Go ahead.
Over here, Coach. You talked yesterday about not taking these tournament appearances for granted, and you know, your first appearance being here in Columbus. So, as a coach, a coaching staff, where do you go from here after, like you said, another season where you win a conference but an early exit?
Back to work. with a lot of pride, by the way. Back to work with a lot of pride.
John.
Mick, you obviously knew that Garza could shoot the ball.
Yeah.
Were you surprised they went to him as much as they did, especially when they were down? And
Not in the low post, I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know,
A little bit outside?
Yeah, a couple of the threes that he made were pretty deep. I mean, we talked about he would shoot it. If you think he made 19 on the year, so I mean, we talked about he would shoot it if we didn't guard him out there. But his size obviously bothered us in the low post. He's a guy, if he catches it deep, I told our guys, he's like the two big guys for Portland and Denver in the pros. May not jump high, but he can really use his body and hands around the basket and get it in.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just a question about the crowd. Obviously playing so close to home. What did you think of it? What was the atmosphere like?
We have great fans. Not a surprise at all. Appreciate all of them. Hope everybody gets home safe. They've been great all year. I think we were sold out season tickets this year. We have great support in our program.
Coach, you talked all week about wanting down here.
Sorry.
About you would love to make shots above anything else, and then yesterday you talked about watching Iowa hit threes on film. When they started hitting the second half, was that kind of all those?
We had
worries
too
you
many
had?
breakdowns. Those are things you can control. We didn't control that. So at the end of the day, I take responsibility for that. There were some things that we did, and I'm not going to mention names of guys, but we just had breakdowns. We fell asleep on some guys. The thing about our defense is we're supposed to be in the passing lane. So if you help, the guy has to go back door. We don't give up direct passes out for the three. So that was the breakdown. And we fell asleep on an out-of-bounds play, and we fell asleep, just let Jordan Bohannon shoot one in our face. But they put they put 40 minutes of offensive pressure on your defense. And at the end of the day, our defense wasn't good enough today.
Anything you said to Justin and Kane there at the end that you're willing to share?
I challenged those guys this summer when we started up, and I can't, whenever our 8 weeks started in the summer, I challenged them that there's a difference between getting on the bus and getting on the bus to make sure your team wins. And I don't think, I learned this from my dad years ago as a high school coach. You're never going to win with bad seniors. It's just never going to happen. Your seniors got to be bought in, whether they're role players, whether they're scorers, defenders, whatever. They got to be the guys. And so I put the heat on them, and they met the challenge. I put the heat on them now in the summer because they didn't have, obviously, they were just getting on the bus. And, their desire to win, to make sure that this program did not drop off, that we kept winning games, and we did things the right way, all the things that I asked the veteran guys to do on our team that Gary Clark and Kyle did the year before. They did it all. They did everything I asked of them. So I just told them I loved them. That obviously they're not the most talented players in the world, okay? Kane got recruited by Sacred Heart, and Justin's my size. When I'm hugging guys that are almost my size, it tells you. For those guys, they accomplished what their team accomplished would not have happened if they weren't totally all in this year. So that's been a trademark of our program, from Justin Jackson and guys like Sean Kilpatrick, and back further and further.
Thank you, Coach, and congratulations
sir.
on a great season.